Hey Glow Getters, it's your girl Ariel Rose.
And I'm Khadija J.
And welcome back to Grind and Glow. It's been a little minute since it's just been the two of us, so we're happy to just, be back on the mic with y'all.
I'm sure y'all missed us. We gotta, bring in some different people every now and
again.
Get different insight and input, because we don't know everything, so we gotta get other people's opinions in there every now and then.
Yes, every now and again. It is good to hear somebody else's voice but yours, But we're really, really excited. We know y'all miss hearing us go back and forth with each other. So welcome to It's a Different World. So we're 90s babies. We know our 90s babies and our 80s babies. Love them. Some It's a Different World. Personally, I was a living singles child.
I'm a living single too, because my name is Khadija.
Yeah.
So I watch it faithfully, but I do love It's a Different World. That was one of my faves.
Yes, but what we're going to touch on in this episode is really just what to get out of when you're in college. On the show, they're like going through it, like how we're going through it. They're having those highs and lows, and so we just kind of wanted to touch on it as well, because really anything, not just school, is what you make it. Your job, your interaction with people, your internships, whatever the matter might be, you even going to a party, you going on a trip, anything is what you make it. Okay,
it really is.
So I have been like an involved person forever. Like even back in high school.
Yeah, now I think about it, yeah, I was.
It's like, even from elementary school, I like ran for class president, I think, like in elementary school.
I'm not gonna lie, in elementary school, I was that person when, reading and AR points was a thing. Like,
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay. So maybe this was like it stopped because I am a little bit older than you. So in elementary school, we had.
Well, we went to elementary school in two completely different states, though.
We did, but I feel like so the state that I was living in at the time of this was in Texas. So we had these things called AR points. And, kids always don't like to read. So, to get us to read, you got so many points and you got prizes after you reach so many levels.
Okay.
And so the grand prize, you got to think you're in first and second grade. So you're like, how old? 7? So like the grand, I think it's 7.
Are you younger than that?
At 5. Okay.
Yeah.
So about 7 and second grade. Shows you how good we are.
Right.
So, you want to get all the prizes. And like one of the big prizes was you got to do like a school walk. So they literally stopped the whole classes in the whole entire elementary school. And you got to do a balloon walk around the whole school just because you got so many points reading. So everybody got to see like, yes, I'm the best reader in here.
What?
And then let me tell you what the top prize is after those AR points. The top prize, the principal took all the top people in each grade level in a limo to McDonald's. Okay?
To McDonald's.
So as a second grader, being 7, riding in a limo to McDonald's during school, that was amazing. That was very amazing.
First of all, I say McDonald's, and apparently that's wrong, but I think I say it right. Regardless, that's a whole other point along other things that I say wrong, whatever. A limousine ride to McDonald's?
Sis, I promise you. So I'm like saying, imagine being 7. So that's motivating you to read.
But
what did you really have to look forward to, like big wise that we do now? So you reading all these books and you get to go to McDonald's in a limo.
See, the thing is, like, I'm a kinesiology major, and like all of my classes right now have something to do with nutrition. And so just listening to that, I'm like, y'all couldn't have picked a healthier option. Like, we talk about school meals and stuff all the time. Like, thank God for Michelle Obama, because she's making school lunches better, but whatever. Although I was very upset. I was really upset senior year when the vending machines changed. I was pissed. I'm not gonna lie.
See, luckily for me, I was out of high school before that happened. And then you got to think, when I was in elementary school, who was even present? I was in elementary school like second grade, like 2001-ish, 2000.
Don't ask me.
Exactly. So nobody was thinking about being healthy. And then I lived in Texas at that. Like, was nobody thinking about being healthy?
Anyways, I feel like we just went so far off track just now. But it's all cool.
It is. It's cool.
Yeah, no. I think we maybe had like a stars point system type thing. But I don't know I don't know. We ain't have that though. Ain't nobody was going to the goddamn McDonald's in a limousine. All right, but anyways, so when you get to college, it really does become way more fun and interactive when you're just involved. If you are just like a study bug, maybe, you know what, maybe if I didn't get involved in anything, I would have graduated on time. Oh well, it's too late now.
Probably me too. I lied because I was involved in too much stuff. I was at whole other campuses that I didn't even belong at. So
listen, Linda. So although I wasn't involved in student government in college, it is very beneficial to you because everything in college is just like, even with Greek orgs, it's all about resources and getting to know people. It's about networking. Learning how to network in your young adult life is so important. Like, you need to learn how to speak with people, figure out who the people are that you need to speak to, figure out how to speak to them also, like how to come at them and how to approach them. But networking, oh my gosh, is everything. It's like 50% what you know and 3/4 who you know, and that math doesn't add up, and I don't care, but that's what it is.
Like we said again, y'all can see we're not the best at math, but it's okay. Y'all get the point.
Y'all get the point. But yeah, like who you know, those connections you make are so monumental, because even if you can get like a mentorship is huge. If you can find a mentor in the field you want to go into, that is such a bonus to you. If you can get your mentor to write you, you know, your recommendation, if that's who writes your recommendation and they're like on the board of where you want to go, oh, you're like 3 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah. That definitely is something big, and I don't care what people say, it really is kind of like a lot on who you know, because that's
for
just
sure.
Like my brother, he, even though he's not at Clemson anymore, he was at Clemson his first 2 years. Like, he was able to get a job. Has it been 2 years already? Yes, it's literally like he's finna go into his senior year. I feel like I'm so old. Yes, after this semester, he's finna be a senior. I'm getting old.
I be forgetting your brother dead ass is 1 year younger than me.
Yeah, so it's like because he went to Clemson, like when he was there coming back home from the summer, it was so easy for him to get a job because the manager at the place he was getting a job that was opening, he was a Clemson alumni. Like that was too easy. So it's like definitely alumni look out for each other, but it's just if you can find something in common with someone else and y'all have that common connection, like it's that commonality easy. Even if you don't know them but you know someone that does know them, like it's too easy for you to get in because they're gonna put that word in for you, and I mean that's a wrap. Like you're gonna get it more so than all these other, and other people may be qualified, they may be more than qualified, but it comes back to who you know, and they're gonna look out for their own first. That's just how it is,
for sure. Because that's like in the movie Hidden Figures, which is such a good movie if you've never watched it. It's so good, and I'm just saying that because it's full of AKAs and amazing black women. But no, in that movie, she like researched the judge that she had to like plead her case to so that she could go to a all-white school because the state she was in was still segregated.
Right.
And that's something that's like really important too. Like if you're going on a interview or you know you're going to a networking event and you were going to speak to someone specifically, look up who they are. When you go to an interview, look up the position so you know what your responsibilities are. So when they're like, so what do you see this job holding? Like, what do you have to do? What do you think your responsibilities are? You already know what they expect you to say, and but they're not expecting you to say it.
But like just the history of the company.
Yeah,
like if you can
Google the company. We stay on Google anyway.
Like that's impressive. Like that's not even something they're asking you to look up. But the fact that you know that, like you're already 2 steps ahead of anyone else coming in for an interview.
Exactly. So that's like a really, really big tip when you go into an interview or you're going to a networking event, which I would love for us to do a networking event, and just so we can maybe like workshop how to be at a networking event, because there's a lot of ones. There's really great like young professional companies out there that their sole purpose is to get you connected with other people, and if you can find those places in your area, that's such a big bonus to you.
Yeah. All right, so how we say you want to get involved while being in college, joining different organizations is something that really will help your resume and give you
your resume for sure.
That helps you with networking and connections as well, because you may have not been someone that was involved in high school, but once you get to college, don't just be that person that's just go to school and you're in your dorm room. Like, join stuff. Even if you feel like you may not like it, like, reach out and try and join something, and at least stick to it for a month, maybe two, to see if you actually like it and get a feel, because you never know. That's like when I first got into college, I was at Burnell my first year, and it was an all-girls school, so I'm sure you're like, okay, what kind of stuff do they have? And I mean, we have all the same stuff as most schools do, but we had a dance organization on campus, and I was friends with a lot of people in that, so they asked me did I want to help, so I ended up being the manager of that. So with doing that, I got to meet a lot of people that did dancing, and I was in rehearsing, and I got to help them put on a lot of events and do the behind-the-scenes stuff. So that was something that I was able to put on and stuff that I did. And then when I got to AU transferring here, I joined crew, and I did crew for almost 2 years, and that was something that was definitely really fun, because for those of you that don't go to Augusta University, crew is pretty much like
production company.
Yeah, it's the production of the university. So any kind of like fun campus organization events, anything dealing with homecoming, back to school events, end of school events, that's what we did. And that's fun because you get to put all this stuff together. You get to see all the different people that's on campus, so you get to talk and meet people that you would not see on an everyday basis, and that's how you end up making friends. You end up making connections with people in the administration and in student life and engagement. So if later on you join another organization or you start another organization and you may need help with stuff, or you may need equipment or stuff, you built those connections with people in those areas, and they know who you are. So it's something that's just definitely really beneficial, even if it's not your fit. Like I said, at least try it out and give it a try. Don't just throw it to the wayside, because you never know if you're going to enjoy it until you try it.
Which I love that you said that you became a manager for the dance company, because that shows that, first of all, you can create positions that do not exist.
Hello.
So you don't have to get in where you fit in. You get in where you make it. So yes, I do love that. But I completely agree. And then like every major has its own club. So like there's a biology club, there's a kinesiology club, there's a chemistry club, there's a club literally for everything. There's a nursing club. There's literally a club for anything. So I mean, if it's something obviously you already have interest in, I mean, why not join a club? Not just to beef up your resume, although it does, and that's good to do, and I'm telling you, do it.
Right.
But you know, like, you also get to be involved. You get to meet people. If it's a subject you kind of need help in, you find people that can tutor you, which is very beneficial. But yeah, it's definitely beneficial to do. You want to have things that you can put on your resume as, you know, your involvement, as your leadership. That's a question asked in interviews often too, like, what leadership positions have you been in? Make sure you have something that you can say. Like, even if it's like, I don't know, even if it's being a captain of a team, if it's being a president, a vice president, a treasurer, a secretary of a club, you know, like, anything, just make sure you eventually slide your way in like a board or exec position, or make your own club. Like, making your own club is so dope. Like, you literally create a new organization and I've seen so many people do it over the 4 years I've been in school, and I'm like, and I've wanted to do it and I didn't do it, and it's like, well, I guess that time's passed. But the people that I've seen do it have done it. They've brought it to fruition, and it's awesome. Yeah, like, it's so amazing, and I love seeing it, truly.
And then it's just like joining organizations. I mean, y'all get to go to amazing events and different things, you know, for free, because you joined this organization and you're part of it. It can be events out of state, out of the city. Like, you get to go other places, and it's all because you're a part of this organization. So it's like, just join, y'all. I promise you, it's not gonna make or break you. Like, just do it, like Nike say. Just do it, because you never ever know.
Because now I want to do like a whole segment on study abroad, because I absolutely love study abroad. If you know me, you know I'm like a travel maniac. We're actually leaving on a trip tomorrow. We're so excited. In case you can't tell, we're like really amped today. By the time this airs, we will have already like went and came back, but we're excited. But yeah, like, if you have the opportunity to study abroad, first of all, that trip is going to be way cheaper than if you planned it on your own. Second of all, you're getting school credit for it, so and it's usually a really easy grade, not gonna lie. Not saying, it's not hard work, but it's kind of not.
I didn't do study abroad. The one time I was gonna go, I couldn't because it was the same time of when my brother was graduating high school, so it really sucked. But I would say I haven't done it, but do study abroad. Definitely do it.
Right. See? Somebody that did do it and she wanted to do it. If from someone that did do it, because it is awesome. It's awesome, especially the place you get to go. And like I said, it's going to be way cheaper than if you plan that trip by yourself. Like, so much of the stuff is covered for you and blah, blah, blah. But while you're on the trip, like, you're away, so you're like getting closer with other people. And when I say I've met some amazing people, like friends that I will seriously have for the rest of my life while being in college. I will say I'm kind of lucky as a female that it's kind of hard for females to keep friends from like real young ages. I'm not gonna lie, we are kind of like that.
We are.
I'm really lucky and blessed to actually still have a good bit of friends from like elementary school and middle school. But there is like a handful of friends that I've met since being in college that those are like my good friends. Like, I love those people. But like you only get those connections, like
you do, because I mean, like she said, I probably still have one good friend from middle school, right? And we both live in 2 different places because I've lived so many places being a military brat. And then from high school, like, my best friend is still my best friend till this day. Like, I'm the godmother to her kids. So it's amazing. But being in college, they definitely say you do make your lifelong friends in college. Because my very first year, my freshman year, everyone knows my college best friend, and she's crazy. Brittany, if y'all don't know her, I'm giving her own little personal shout out. But I love her to death. That is someone that in a heartbeat, like on speed dial, it's nothing. And we may not talk every day, but when we talk, it's like we never, skipped a beat.
Right.
And then transferring after my freshman year, I met my next college best friend. She's my hairstylist, just did my hair today. Like Tony, shouting her out again, You just make those friends. And then if y'all didn't know, like my co-host, she's not only my LS, but that's like one of my best friends. Like, for sure. Anyone that knows us, that lives in Augusta, goes to AU, knows us in Atlanta, anything, knows like we're literally like peas in a pod. Like, you're not gonna see one without seeing the other. So I mean, it was just perfect, and it was easy to start this because I mean, why not do it with one of your best friends you've made in college? It's just, people would think that like we've known each other longer than this, and we literally met 3 years ago. So it's crazy how you make those connections in college. It really is.
For sure, because we're a trip together. It's like a good kind of trip, not like a bad kind of trip, guys. But we're a trip.
We're the fun kind of people you would want around. So trust me, if y'all want to have us anywhere, I'm telling y'all,
hit us up, y'all.
Disappointed.
But yes, for sure. Even like my roomie, which you will hear from her obviously on episodes to come because she's fantastic and I love her. That's NATO. But she's
Speaking
like
of NATO, sidebar, like Nate's become a good friend because of Ariel. Like,
Nate's
one of my good friends now, and I live here like part-time, so like I love her just as much as I love Ariel. So it's like you meet friends through friends. You just have to make those connections, y'all. Like we said, like, make those connections.
Yes, we definitely have like episodes to come about friendships, because sometimes you gotta know when to let go of friendships, and sometimes you gotta know when to fight for friendships. So it's a lot, I think, especially for females. Like, I've heard guys go through it, but not to the extent, I don't think, as often as females
and it's like
do.
With them, it's either we friends or we not. It's like if I see you out in public, if I don't really mess with you like that, like, we not speaking. And it's with us, it's like, oh, let me go.
It's a little petty.
Hey, and then as soon as you say hey, I don't like that hoe. Like, why did you even say hey?
I don't think I'm saying hey. Not like even in a bad way, but like, I don't want to be fake. Like, you feel me?
You're right. I'm not even gonna lie. I probably don't speak to people. I probably mug them knowing me. And
you got RBF knows, like crazy.
Yeah, if y'all don't know me because y'all can't see it, my face tells all my expressions. So yeah, actions speak louder than words. It's been true.
Yeah, you got a major RBF, so not even gonna lie to you. My mom asked me what RBF was the other day. Hilarious.
I'm weak. I love her. She's hilarious. She just makes my day.
She has all the jokes. Like, y'all, my mama is hilarious. Anyways, but if you haven't got what we're talking about. Seriously, make those connections, get involved. It'll make it more enjoyable. You'll meet more people, and those connections that you make in college, or even just as a young adult, period, even if you're not in school, they will follow you throughout life. If you have been mentored, then you go into a mentor position and you have a mentee. Like, that's a dope position to be in, to like really have someone that can call on you, that you can give advice to, that you can tell them things so that they don't do the mess ups that you did, so they don't have to deal with things that you did, you know. That's a really a dope feeling, to be able to provide that to someone else.
It is. And then just to go back to how we were kind of talking about joining organizations, even if you're not comfortable with doing stuff like that, just get up and go to campus events. Like, you don't even have to
I agree.
Like, just go to campus events. There's so many events and things that you would enjoy that you may have never done that you wouldn't do without being in college. Like, participate and go to homecoming events. If there's like a yard show or a cookout or a festivity going on campus, go to it and do it. If they're having something at night, like silent headphone parties or just different stuff like that, just go to the events, because you make connections that way too, because you're going to meet people that you never would have met if you didn't go to that event.
And that's a really good point, just going to events, because actually one of my favorite events that we have at this school is our nighttime movies. So we have like an amphitheater and like a giant blow up like screen thing, if you know what I'm talking about. And that's a thing that you can go to by yourself. You can go to, you know, just with your friends, take a blanket, take a pillow, like, and you watch like it's usually a pretty recent film, and we get to like vote on it and stuff. But that's really one of my favorite things that we have. And it's like, someone might think it's like really simple and really small, but it has like $1 snacks and whatever. But like, that's seriously one of my favorite events that the school puts on.
Right. It's like going to the movies for free,
right,
outside, because it's like the amphitheater becomes the movie theater. Those are
it's
you just
dope.
Get to chill and relax and experience watching movies with friends and other people.
Yeah. So get involved. Even if you're not in school, network. Seriously, network. If y'all get nothing else from this episode, network your butt off, because I promise in the long run it will help you. But as we switch gears now,
right,
since we've had some guests on the show, we haven't really touched on current event topics, because, you know, we try to stay on topic. We do veer off often, but, you know,
nothing like a little veer off. No one wants to hear us just rant about the whole topic. No. They want to hear what's going on and what we got to say.
But boy, February has been very, very, very interesting.
The most interesting Black History Month, if I must say.
It's been very packed with all sorts of wildness and nonsense. It's only February. Like, we're just getting into 2019. Although it is the last day of 2019,
which is
this
crazy.
year is going by pretty quick.
It's going by very quick. So if you got goals and stuff you want to accomplish, like, you need to
get to it.
In the third month of the year, y'all. Like, time is moving and it's not stopping for no one. So get on it.
Not stopping for a single person. No, seriously, it's flying by. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see.
Do too. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, it can slow down at like maybe like June.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm getting old. You know, that's my 25. So, you know, after that, it can slow down so I don't keep progressing and getting older quicker.
I don't think anybody asked you.
But that's not the point. We was talking about June, and that's my birthday month. Okay. So we going to throw it out there.
Okay. Anyways, so, sis, let's get into our what is going on in the world segment. Because woo chow, which, first of all, I know the guy. I went to high school with the guy that did the Woo Chile video.
Woo Chile.
And I think it's so hilarious that it like became viral, because I say that mess on the regular.
Literally, I'd be like, Woo Chile, Chile.
How do you spell Chile?
I think Chile, Chil, posh or hyphen, and then lay, Lay, Chile.
So you do that. You do the Lay.
Yes, I do. So I think you don't need two L's. I think you can do like CHI hyphen and then LAY.
CHI.
Chile.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't think about that.
So, you know, CHI hyphen
L-E-Y. Okay.
Chile.
So you don't spell it with the E with the accent. No. That's why I asked.
Nah, because that's like the country, and it may get confused.
Right, but that's what I think it like came from, like Chile. Like that's what the white girl thought. Like that's what she had to have thought. Like Chile, like the country Chile.
I don't know what sis was thinking, but it was funny when she said, "How do you say that? Woo, Chile." So y'all can't tell me I just sound like sis. Sis said, "How do you say that? Woo, Chile."
Yo. All right, so okay. So let's. So now that, which you have to tell me his name, because I told you I'd be half under a rock half the time.
Jesse Smollett.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So Jesse, because I feel like we're on a first name basis.
Yes.
I mean, his business is out there in the world now,
right.
so we might as well be on a first name basis.
We cool like that.
I don't know if we cool.
We ain't cool like that, but we cool enough to call him by his first name.
Yes, agreed.
He ain't no
Okay.
Mr. Smollett or Jesse
No,
Smollett.
yeah, okay, yes.
That's just that man Jesse.
That man Jesse. Use right, sis. All right. So yeah, now that has come to a close, which we were all staying up to date on through the Shade Room. Thank you, the Shade Room. Which I don't even follow the Shade Room. Not that I have anything against them, but the thing is, I get their stuff sent to me so often that I feel like I follow them. So I kind of forget that I don't follow them.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, so, and I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on this, although y'all have probably already went through the highs and lows of the situation. But, like, so much turmoil came from that. Like, oh my gosh, that was a wild situation.
What even went through your head? Like, you had to have been thinking this for a while to plan this, because
for sure.
How did you think that you were going to get away with this? And I mean, what was your goal? For them to pay you retribution? Like, I'm confused. I'm all the way confused, because how do you get paid retribution for something that you set up? Like, why didn't you think you were going to get caught? Like,
yeah,
it's 2019, baby boy. Like, I'm confused.
Because there was, like, so many missing pieces from jump, because, like, even how the footage couldn't have been found, like, for the first, like, couple, I don't even know how long, but it was, like, a minute. It was just, like, missing footage.
It literally was, like, a storyline. It's like,
yeah,
we found out he got attacked. Okay, everyone's in an uproar. And so the people had on MAGA hats, so you automatically assume this racist. But then the next piece of the story comes out that it's two black brothers. So now you got everybody wondering, like, I'm confused. Then the next third piece that comes out, he gets a criminal defense attorney. If you're the victim, you don't need a criminal defense attorney. So now you really just got everybody in an uproar and confused, because, sir, what did you do?
Right, because it was really like an emotional roller coaster, just trying to keep up with the stories. Like, but like my biggest thing out of this whole thing is that I was like driving to work one day listening to Breakfast Club, and he did an interview where he was like, I just want everybody to stop calling it an alleged attack and all this stuff. So it's like, oh, okay, you don't want them to call it alleged because it really happened by your friends, like by people you know, not because it didn't actually happen. But like, it was so crazy. I think he thought he was gonna do good. I genuinely think he thought he was gonna do good from it, but it got so messy. It got so messy.
It backfired. And then it was so funny, because when I was telling my mom the story, she already knew something was wrong, because we all know what happened in Chicago. My mom's from Chicago. Chicago ain't nothing to mess with. Like, she's from Southside Chicago. And she was like, for one, not even people in Chicago are getting on a train at 2 a.m. in the morning by themselves. Like, and you're a celebrity.
Right.
So that was all the way confusing.
Like, where was your security? Because, like, where would your security have been? Why was it, like...
Hello?
Why was your security not with you? That don't even make no sense. Like, okay, maybe you're like, oh, you're a down-to-earth celebrity, like, actor or whatever. You don't need security. But you're out at 2 a.m. grabbing a sandwich?
Nah.
Like, what?
That ain't... Nah. Cancel all that.
Yeah, if y'all choose to, voice message us, we would be happy to, add it to our next episode, or DM us, like, just your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. But yeah, we've definitely been through the discussion of this. It's like really, really wild. And also in the interview, he was like, I never said they were wearing MAGA hats. Like, so no, they weren't MAGA hats, they were just red hats. Like, right. Oh, you thought you were it's right. Really, it was a lie. Like you said, it was a storyline. Moving to
Yes, moving to
another. Did you watch all of the R. Kelly episodes?
I did.
I didn't.
I did it. I would tell you, I mean, if you watched them this far, I definitely would say finish watching it to see like how everything, you know, wraps up and closes out, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's just crazy to me though that this stuff, and it's just crazy to me in general, because not even just him, but even like the whole Bill Cosby thing. It's like people know this stuff has been going on for so long and have been pretty much crying wolf about it, saying stuff about it. But it's kind of like, y'all wait till these people get up in age, finna, you know, croak over. They don't really have a lot, you know, left. They've done everything in their career, life-wise. And so now people want to come out about it. And I'm just saying, like, if you know it happened, why continue to put your children in situations like that? Not saying, you know, you just want to blame the parents, but at the same time, you know, you kind of have to look at it on both sides. If y'all have heard the stories before, what makes you think that the situation was going to be different with your child? That's just where I was confused at with all of this. And I know in one of the docuseries at the end, one of the parents whose daughter is still missing till this day, they both said, like, they went to her. So the mom, the dad, and the daughter went to R. Kelly concert. And R. Kelly apparently, you know, was pulling girls up on stage to dance with him and all that good stuff. And the dad and the mom in the docuseries say, you know, he grabbed their daughter to go up on stage, but he was okay with it because he was right there and he knew nothing was going to happen and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, what still, like I said, would make you think anything different? And you have all these other parents and people telling you this stuff, but y'all say that y'all are with them 24/7, but you're not. If you can't even contact them after they've been with this man for who knows how many, like a little amount of time. Like, I'm just confused.
Yeah, because it even came out about like how Beyonce's dad, Mr. Knowles, was with Destiny's Child when they worked with him, because actually he wanted to work with them. Like, from the article I was reading, he really wanted to work with them, and he was really expensive. You know, he's R. Kelly. And if you think about people in the 90s, like young people coming up in the industry, most of them did work with him, you know. And so for Destiny's Child to really have made a come up without really working with him was kind of noticeable about them. But he was like, in the studio, it would be like the studio in one door, and the door right next to it would just be like a huge club with like people, like grown folks in it. Like, their mom would literally not leave them for a second. She would go to the bathroom with them. She would walk back with them, and they only worked together like on one project, and I think they didn't even end up like releasing that song. So I don't know, some parents, you know, got the intuition, they're with it, they know what's up. And I mean, I don't know, it's really a messed up situation though. The fact that he, you know, has officially been charged with sexually abusing underage victims now, and he has officially turned himself in. It's like, you know, it may have took this long, but
he posted bail, so we'll see how this goes after this, because he definitely posted that. And it's so crazy because after he posted bail, he literally went back to the McDonald's where he used to pick up girls. Like, what's going through his head? Like,
he thinks he's invincible. That's what it is. He thinks he's invincible.
He does. And it's so crazy because in the docuseries, I know you said you haven't finished watching it, but at the end, there's still 2 girls still missing till this day. Like, their parents haven't seen them. So it's been like 3 years now. But it's crazy because when he turned himself in, those 2 girls were spotted going to court to go support him. So they're still with this man. And their parents still, like, they won't talk to their parents, nothing, none of that. So it's crazy. It really is.
Interesting. Because even, like, you mentioned Bill Cosby, because he's like living like a king in prison.
I mean, he is. I mean, think about it. This man he's done his career. He's retired. Like, he's literally just living out the days that he has left on this earth. So it's
right.
Like, and not saying, you know, you don't want women, because we all want women to speak out, but it's just like, why wait so long? Like, I get it. Y'all feel like people may have not, like, believed you back then, but it seems like they didn't fight as hard as it is today. if that makes sense. It's like people are pushing for it and fighting for it and not stopping until something's done about it. And I mean, I know times were different back then, but I still feel like if you wanted something bad enough, like, I mean, look at Black History Month. If you want something bad enough and fight for it, something's gonna make a change.
I don't know if I fully agree with that. I mean, like, I think, like, a lot of these girls were paid off, like, especially in the R. Kelly situation, like, a lot of girls were paid off, their families were paid off, you know, and so they might have, you know, and that just shows you the power of, like, money and the power of greed and stuff, you know, that's a whole nother matter within itself. But, you know, I think some of these people might have spoken up back then when it did happen, but they just didn't have, you know, the right people behind them to really make something have come of it. And so when things are coming up now, it's like, well, maybe now this is my opportunity for someone to finally hear me, since they're hearing somebody else, you know.
And that's true too, because I mean, my mom said the same thing too, like, money really is power, because like, they can't really, like, law enforcement and government has to have so much evidence and proof, because like you said, these people have money, so they know who to pay off. And we all know there's people in the government and the police department that corrupt. You can pay off so easily. So I can kind of get where you're coming from, because me and her had that discussion. So it's like with them paying people off, it's like the evidence probably just disappears and there's nothing. So now they got to find something else to work with and wait for something else to come up, because I mean, like, say, you can't just get somebody without having evidence.
Because now, I don't know if y'all have heard, because it's pretty recent, but there is about to be an HBO series. Well, I don't know if it'll be a whole series, but it's at least like a documentary. And Oprah Winfrey is hosting it, and it's about Michael Jackson. It's called, what is it called? Like Leaving Neverland? Leaving Neverland. Yeah, it's called Leaving Neverland, which, if y'all know, I mean, that's his huge estate that he had.
Right.
And yeah, like, at least in these other cases we've talked about, you know, just even though that's not a sexual assault one, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, at least they were alive, you know, to talk about it, to defend themselves if they want to. But this is kind of, I think it's a little messy.
It is, because it's like, I mean, this man's been gone for a while now. Like,
because when I first heard about it, I was like, how long has he been dead? Like, that was honestly my first question. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Because as a matter of fact, I remember the day he died, because I was still in high school. It was my freshman year, and I was still playing travel basketball, and we were in Houston, Texas, and it was on the news everywhere. So this was back in 2009. It's 2019, y'all.
Oh, wow.
That's how long this man has been gone off this earth, and they're just now trying to make something out of whatever was going on at Neverland.
Yeah, so I don't, maybe it's easier to do so now, you know, like I was saying, because there is so much going on now. There are people that are coming forward and that are being heard, and maybe those people had to wait until they were older just to have the resources to adequately fight these people, you know.
That is true, because back then, like, a lot of these people were young, and according to accusations with Michael Jackson and Neverland, like, these were kids. I mean, like, what access do kids really have? And it's like they try to tell adults and parents, but we all know those situations where adults and sometimes may not believe that child, which that blows my mind. Or don't want to believe that child, because I feel like that's the case in a lot of R. Kelly situations. And that just blows my mind. How can you? Children are innocent, okay? Children are innocent until they get older and they get corrupted. So how can you not take the word of this child that something is wrong and something's going on? Money cannot be that important. Fame cannot be that important to put your child's life in danger in a situation like that. Like, it's just no bueno.
Yeah, because there was like this whole thread that was like, I love kids. It can be like, oh, I love your flower sandal. And it's like, thanks, my parents are getting a divorce. Like, you didn't ask that, but like, kids are so honest. So that she's talking about like they're innocent, like, until they're corrupted. Like, that's true. I mean, they're literally they're innocent until they're exposed to, you know, what, you know, makes us all who we are now.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we just, you know, we did a lot of ranting and raving, but still giving y'all tips and teas and all that good stuff. So just to close out on a more happier note, if you didn't know, something actually very big that happened, and, you know, it happened close to the end of Black History Month, so it made it into Black History. But a young lady by the name of Toni Harris makes history, as she has become the first female athlete to receive a full football scholarship. Yes, I just said female to receive a full football scholarships. So sis she been out here doing her thing on the football field, and we all know that's always been a male dominated sport. I mean, yes, they make like arena football leagues that these women play in, like lingerie football leagues,
right,
Puff and all this, but we're talking about like real deal football. Like she's playing on the field with guys, so that's something really, really big.
Because even, I guess I was a little prejudiced because I was like, oh, is she a kicker? Because that's what everybody thinks. Like, if a female's playing football, that she has to be a kicker, and she's actually not a kicker. Isn't she like a running back?
She's a safety.
She's a safety.
5'7",
she's a safety.
and she's a safety.
I don't know how. Like, I'm super, super congratulatory for her and like super proud of her, but like I wouldn't want to do it.
Right, because like I did go into like a lot of the comments, and like people said,
I live in comments.
Yeah, high school was one thing, but college is a whole nother level. Like these are grown men, that's been grown since they were in high school. So, and you're 5'7", not like downing her disabilities, but that's just something really, really interesting to see. Like, I really do wish nothing but the best for her, and I hope like things work out for her, and you know, it just goes well for her, because that is something that still is a very big accomplishment.
Right. That's like, definitely, it's a huge accomplishment, and that's why I'm, you know, congratulatory towards her. Like, I've literally done research about the trauma physically from football players, and like it's no joke.
It's not.
Starting in high school, yeah, but like especially in college, because if you're like D1, you might as, you're at least, if you're not a professional team, you're at least like practice team, you know?
Right.
Like these are big men.
Right.
They're men, you know?
Like
I don't know. Like it's crazy.
This. So
I definitely wish the best of luck with her. I really just hope she comes out healthy, still safe. Like, and I'm not saying that because she's a female. I feel that way about anybody that goes into a league, you know, especially as contact as football is.
Right.
Because
there's
actually,
football players that are retired still living with the aftermath of so many concussions. Like that is a big thing, and that can really mess with someone in the long run, because you know they don't like getting them checked out, because they know if they get it checked out, they're not going to be able to play. They have to sit out. So that's something that's really big. And then you have all these ligament tears, ACL tears, LCL, MCLs, just everything. And these are big guys that are going to hit you. And guys' bodies, like, we want to believe we can do everything, but we just weren't made the same. Our bodies are more fragile than theirs. We break and tear easily in places that they won't as easily. So it's just, she's really going to have to make sure that, you know, she just takes care of herself while she's out there.
Yeah, because literally, I actually, if y'all don't listen to TED Talks, I love TED Talks, but I literally listened to one the other day about CTE, which is the aftermath of concussions. And I'm not saying male sports are the only one that have concussions, because actually, if you didn't know, cheerleading is the leading sport for concussions. So it's not like other sports that are female dominated aren't as, you know, dangerous really, but it's a whole different field. I mean, shout out to you. You made history. Literally. That's dope. Like, you made history. I wouldn't want to do it.
Right. Best of luck to you, sis.
Best of luck. I mean, girl power. I don't think I'm a feminist, but shout out to you. I mean, seriously, shout out. But like, that's intense. Anyway, this was totally supposed to end on an uplifting moment.
It was. I feel like it did. We gave empowering, encouraging words, just being more aware, but still encouraging words.
Yes. But as always, Glow Getters, follow us on all of our social media platforms. We are officially on iTunes, baby. Woo-woo. Hey, it took us a minute, but we there. So we're super excited about that. We have appreciated y'all's support so far with this. We've, you know, hit 250 on IG. We're about to break 300. Right. We're almost 400 likes on Facebook. We really just appreciate y'all's support, y'all sharing us, and all that good stuff. We are available on iTunes, on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on a whole bunch of other stuff, like specific podcast platforms that y'all probably aren't listening to us on.
Right.
But we're also on YouTube. I know we do have a lot of YouTube listeners as well. So thank you. Subscribe, like on everything, hit notifications so y'all hear everything.
So you get that little ding.
Yes.
When a new one comes.
Because we know y'all want to hear us. Duh.
Like, brr, duh.
But shoot us your DMs. If there's something y'all want us to talk about in particular, tell us. We'd absolutely love to add it in on a segment. You can also leave voice memos to us on our Anchor app. So if you do that, you can hear yourself on our next show. So for sure, add that in. But as always, I'm your girl, Ariel Rose.
And I'm Khadija J.
And remember, the harder you grind, the brighter you glow. See you later, glow getters.